Hey, Sel, what if we imagined that being a grandmother was more than this occasional visits and these holiday memories? And what if we took the approach that what we're doing here is reshaping families? And so I was thinking about this as I was putting one grandchild to bed, and then I was helping the other one with some maths homework, some multiplications. And I thought, this is more than it's more than theory, because it's basically the heartbeat of my life at the moment. And as you know, I have two grandchildren now living with us full time. You have a grandchild living with you as well too. You have the luxury of having little Landon's mother with you, so that's
Yes.
great. I don't have that luxury, so I'm it type of thing, stepping into that mother's role, and it really is eye opening for me. And I assume that it's been the same for you. Would that be
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. While Livy's here
Mm.
and, she's Landon's mum, she had Landon at 17.
Yeah,
And so I've been her support person,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the surrogate dad, if you're second parent, if you want. But the other thing that I'm finding like struggling with too is she's still my child, so I'm
Oh,
still guiding her through life.
yeah.
She's just starting in the adult world type thing.
Mm,
So, it's me mothering my child, but then trying to guide her into mothering her child as well.
mm, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Huge, isn't it? So,
Yeah, massive.
and and it really is this dance of generations. So we're dancing between the yesterdays and the tomorrows, basically, but we're in the here and now. Um, and I know that if Tals asks me, something or other about the olden days, because she thinks I'm so old. Oh, I don't think I'm so old. So um, and she often asks me, when we're doing crazy things like we're doing pull ups on the swings or something or other, she's asking me different stories about life and families and we're just sharing different memories of her mum, for example, or what I used to do as a child. And what we're doing is, at this point that we're sharing stories with these kids, we're actually planting seeds for them, so that they're actually working out their identities and how they belong in this world.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's so much more than just, that occasional visit.
yeah, yeah,
It's, where the backup goalkeeper in a soccer match, or, where the resident homework person, or in your case, you're the taxi driver
yeah,
taking him to daycare.
yeah,
Um, and, I'm learning, well, you know, I'm on social media, so, I'm learning stupid things like not so much TikTok, but, doing Instagram or something or other, and they're laughing their heads off at me. And
yeah,
they think it's hilarious, different things that I do, but that's showing them that it's okay to be learning all the time as well too.
yeah, yeah,
And when we're cooking, if you think about it, it's like a science project.
yeah,
It's like, why if when you add this to that, why does that happen to it?
yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, you're learning or you're teaching them about family recipes, as an example. What's your favorite recipe, by the way?
I don't cook.
You must have something that you share. Who's doing the cooking?
George and Livy are my
Georgia.
cooks. Yep, and Livia, she started cooking. They're my cooks. Yeah, I don't cook.
I I also think that what this is all about is that we are building our health together.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we show our grandchildren that aging doesn't mean slowing down, we can do that in lots of different ways. And it's instilling for them something that is going to really support them in their lives.
Yeah.
Whether that's going for a hike and, you know, looking at different plants or animals, whether that's doing yoga, even though I'm not that great at a downward dog, but, you know, I do it. When we're cooking meals, you know, we're sneaking in lessons about different types of veggies. And, you know, it's like breakfast time as an example now. It's here's your glass of water, you know, massive glass of water. And it's like, why do we have to drink so much water of a morning? Because you've been drooling of a night time and sweating, and all that water's come out of your body, and we need to put it back in. So your young cells are going, oh yes, I'm happy today, I've got lots of energy. And so it's great to actually break it down into that lower level so that they understand it as well too. The other thing that I thought about, Sel, was that we're openly talking about our feelings and our emotions, and that's okay. Because there's so much now about mental health and in society, that the more open I can be about those things, hopefully that means the more open that they're going to be as they grow up as well too.
And I think that's so important because, you know, I look at Landon, for instance, and as I said, you know, it's Olivia and I, you know, but you would be the same with your grandkids. You imagine what the future is going to be like for them. And I want to guide him so much in the fact that I don't want him to be a teenager and resent his mum for the choices she made as far as his dad, because his dad is not in the picture. But I want him to, you know, understand, not to be angry at his mum about that, you know, that there were reasons why his dad isn't in the picture and that sort of thing. So I think it's so very important to guide them through their emotions and how they're feeling, and that it's okay to feel that way. But so important to know why you're feeling that way.
Yeah. And sometimes they can't necessarily express those feelings as well too when they're younger, particularly at Landon's age, whereas these guys are a little bit older, but even now they still struggle. They're starting to get better with it, you know, and it's been 7 months now. But everything was thrown into the I'm frustrated or angry basket. And, you know, they've now learnt different words that they felt unappreciated, as an example. Or, you know, they're learning that it's not all just one basket. There's lots of different things, and it's okay to feel all of these different things as well too. I think one of the things about being a grandparent as well too is we have to learn to navigate the digital bridge, don't we? So, you know, we've got to be able to navigate those, you know, video calls as an example. So if you're a long distance grandmother, like some of the women in our communities, for example, you know, their families are living like in Vienna and different places. And so for them to be able to connect with their grandkids, they're doing it through technology. You know, you might even be keen on video games. It's not my thing. But I know that for Lockie, you know, he wanted this Nintendo Switch a couple of years back. He's a little bit older too. And he said, come on, Nan, let's play. Nanny, can you play with me? And I've gone, oh, mate, no, we're not doing that one. Pick a game that I might actually be able to, comprehend. And he shows me something and, I'm pottering along in this race type of thing. And I get to, I don't know, finish and last type of thing. And then the next round I finished, something like fourth. And then the next round I got to second. And he said, you still didn't win. And I said, oh, no, I've had a huge win. I didn't know how to do it in the first place. And after all of these goes at it, I've ended up in second place. So I said, that's massive. I said, it's not something that I'm going to be doing every single day. It's not my thing, because I have so many other things that I want to do in life than to just sit there and look at a screen. But that's just me. But, I embraced it because it was something that he wanted to do and he wanted me to do it with him.
I have some toddler games on my iPad, and it's learning toddler games. So it's, matching colours and shapes and pairs and that sort of thing. And it's just, it's beautiful just watching his face when he matches a pair of socks or he gets the square in the square. So even though he is on, on a screen and he is having screen time, it's still, he's learning. And I'm enjoying that excitement on his face.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we do word searches. If we happen to be, going to a doctor's appointment as an example, and we're just sitting there, so we might, all participate with it. So we're not all just, one person just glued on a screen. So we're all participating as well too. And I think that's the thing, Sal, that what you're saying there is that we are learning educational apps together. So I think there's a huge piece of research that actually shows us that grandparents who contribute to grandchildren's lives, these grandkids have a higher emotional intelligence, that there are these stronger family bonds and connections, that they perform better academically, and they cope, that they've got more resilience. They develop more resilience. And they also have that deeper understanding of family history and culture. And you only have to see that with generational living as an example. Anything to add on that?
No. You covered,
I think that, we really have to look at that ripple effect that's happening here. So being active grandparents, we are modeling healthy aging for our community. We're supporting other grandparents who might see us on social media as well too, and they go, oh heck, they're doing that, so I could do that too. We're also creating these connections and building some type of legacy for not just us, but for, our children, our children's children, the grandkids, and also our older community as well too. So, I look at Mum and, she's not keen on changing things, but there are little things that she's picked up along the way that I've said or she's seen me do, and she's gone, oh, I can do that. Something simple like sea salt. Or Himalayan salt. So I think that's really important, that more grandparents are more actively involved in their grandchildren's lives now, because both parents are working, and so we have stepped into a different type of role, and it's important that we navigate it, not just as being the grandparent who gets to give them all the treats, but we're the grandparents who actually get to lead by example as well too.
Yeah.
We get to love them, obviously. We do, and we find greater strength in that. We find joy in that, and as I said, we're just shaping those generations. Is there anything you want to add to that, Sel?
No, I think you covered everything. Yeah.
Okay. So, ladies, what I want you to imagine today is that you're not just a grandmother. And what if all of a sudden you were thrown into a situation like I was, and you now have your grandchildren living with you? What would that mean? How would you cope with it? Are you strong enough? Are you fit and healthy? And you might also be going through all the emotional turmoil of that as well too, of knowing that you now have young people to raise in your 60s or 70s. And so you're also showing those kids that it's okay to have that old breakdown as well too, and to be real with it. And I think that's really, really important. So that what we're doing here is we're rewriting rules associated with grandparents. We're actually accepting the fact that we are the leaders in our family, and that we are instilling values, cultures, and leading by example. Thanks for joining me, Sel.
Thanks for having me as always.
You're very welcome. Thanks, ladies. We'll see you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.